morning, my friends, and happy Wednesday. Ash Wednesday, to be exact. So it is Wednesday, so I will bring you, normally, the meeting highlights and my weigh-in. No weigh-in this week because I did not go to my meeting last night. Last night, was Fat Tuesday, and every year a friend of ours from church has a Fat Tuesday party. It's a ladies' party. So I went there last night, and it was the same time as my meeting. So being Lifetime, I only have to weigh in once a month. So I decided to skip last night and go to the party instead. And I did. And it was wonderful. And I ate too much. I did. Lost control. But we'll talk about that in a minute. I just want to talk about some issues I'm having. I'm struggling. I am struggling hard. Not necessarily with overeating at meals or eating the wrong things. I'm struggling, again, like I did about 9 months ago, with the BLTs, the bites, licks, and tastes. And I don't know why all of a sudden. I'm munching on decent things, like I'm not stuffing my face full of potato chips or Doritos. It's the nuts. It's a little bit too much of, I can't even think off the top of my head right now. But it's just those little bites, like when I'm cooking dinner, little bite here, little bite there. They all add up, and I know this, and I'm not even hungry when I'm doing it. I might be hungry at first, and that's why I have, a little bit of nuts, but then I just keep going. I feel like I'm losing a little bit of control. And honestly, I don't want to say I'm glad, but this just shows that no matter where you are on your journey, if you're a week in, if you're a month in, if you're a year in, if you've been on maintenance like I have for a year and a half, you still struggle. And if you don't, hey, good for you. Please give me some tips, because I really truly believe that all of us struggle at some point. And like I said, it's not like I'm sitting there eating a half gallon of ice cream or devouring an apple pie. I'm just having too many nuts, or I'm having too many tastes while I'm making dinner, or, while I'm packing Adam's lunch, I'm licking the peanut butter spoon. Stuff that I used to do, and I need to break that cycle. That being said, it is, as you know, I've talked about it on my channel before. I'm Catholic. We celebrate Lent. Today's the first day of Lent, and it is a season of, unlike Advent before Christmas, which is, the exciting time and a happy time, we know what Lent is leading up to. Lent is leading up to Good Friday, and then of course Easter, which is a beautiful time. But so Lent is a little more sombering and not as celebratory as Advent. So we tend to make sacrifices during Lent. There's 3 pillars of Lent. It's almsgiving, prayer, and fasting. And our family likes to incorporate those 3 pillars into our Lenten sacrifices. What a better time than to get my butt in gear? That's how I'm looking at this. This is perfect, because some of the sacrifices that we make during Lent, we increase our prayer as a family. We find new charities and new ways to give, not necessarily always monetarily, but of ourselves and things like that. And lastly is through fasting. There are certain days that we're required to fast, which is Ash Wednesday today and Good Friday. But we choose to fast every Friday, not only abstain from meat, but also to fast and just do one full meal. So we fast from dinner time Thursday to dinner time Friday. So I think, and I am not doing it for any weight loss reasons or anything like that. I am doing it purely for religious reasons, because I do not advocate fasting for weight loss. Intermittent fasting is a whole different story. I'm talking fasting for days. That's just not me. But I think it will help me focus. I think it will help me step back from all those BLTs that I'm consuming. What else did I want to say about that? Oh, and another thing, like, typically people give stuff up during Lent. And, one of the things that I give up is in between snacking. I don't need the snack. I eat delicious, balanced meals, and I truly don't get hungry. And if I do, I really try to be mindful of eating vegetables or fruit for a snack or some protein. I'm really trying to get away from a lot of the processed, like chips and crackers and stuff. Not that I'm not going to eat them, because I certainly will eat them. I'm just trying to get them out of my daily life. If I have, a sandwich 3 times a week, I'm going to have chips 1 time, not all 3 times. Just for the betterment of myself and the betterment of my health. That's purely for me. You don't, if you want to eat chips every day, you go for it, because you can fit them in and you love them. And if that's what's going to help you be successful, absolutely. It all comes down in the end to what is making you successful on your journey. You don't have to be like anyone else. I just know for me and the things that my body's feeling, what I need to do. That being said, I'm off on a tangent. So I'm really hoping that, my Lenten goals and sacrifices will help me reel in what's going on. Like I said, this happened to me about 9 or 10 months ago, and I reeled it right back in. I think we all just go through these little phases. So that's what's going on with me. My clothes are still fitting fine. The scale's not jumping 5 pounds. It's all good with that. I know when I eat the way I'm not supposed to, I don't feel as good. I definitely feel better when I eat how I'm supposed to. And like I said, all those little BLTs add up. So, and I do track them. But yeah. So that's that. Let's get to the meeting topic, because that's what you're here for, not my rants. And I do apologize for that. But I felt like I needed to talk to someone about it. And that someone is you guys, because you're always there for me, and you're always supportive, and you always give me great advice. And just because I'm Lifetime, and just because, I'm below goal, and just because I have a YouTube channel, doesn't mean I don't need help. And I do. And I get it from all you guys. So thank you for that. Meeting topic, one of my favorites. Here's my card this week, because I didn't go. It is movement. Yes, and how you can make it stick. Now, I am all about activity. I am not necessarily about exercise for weight loss. I'm about exercise for health. You do not need to exercise to lose weight. It is 90% what you put in your mouth and 10% what you do. But I am a huge advocate for exercise for health. We're losing weight to get healthy. We're losing weight to improve our lives. Exercise is what makes us healthy. Losing the weight, yes, but we need exercise, especially as women. We need to, our heart is a muscle. And heart disease in women is the #1 cause of death. We need to build our hearts stronger. We need to exercise. We need to do a little bit of cardio. I am not saying to go out and run a marathon. I am not saying to deadlift 300 pounds. Just move a little. Get your heart rate up. Yes, it's great when you get 10,000 or 15,000 steps a day. But did you bring your heart rate up? Did at least 10 or 15 minutes of those steps bring your heart rate up? Did you feel your heart rate rising? Did you feel your body temperature rising? Did you feel your breathing get a little tougher? That's what you need to do for at least 15 minutes a day, is to get that heart rate up. As long as your doctor says it's okay. If you've got medical issues, please don't do that. I am not a doctor. I am not a nutritionist. I am not a personal trainer. Check with your doctor before you start any exercise. But it is really, really good for us to get some cardio, some movement in. Strength training too. Absolutely good for us. Builds lean muscle, tones our bodies. So, they want you to find something you're going to stick to. The more you do a physical activity, the more skills you'll develop and the more confident you'll feel. which will make you want to keep doing it. Hello, that's a habit loop. So the 3 fast facts they talk about. Weight and health goals may inspire you to start being active, but they won't help you stay active over time. That's why activity that's reinforced is key for short and long-term success. We're all gung-ho in the beginning. We are all gung-ho in the beginning with exercise, with our program, with everything. And then we get complacent. So you need to find something that you enjoy. If you think you are going to love spin class and you go and you hate it, don't do it. Because you know what? After the honeymoon phase, you're gonna quit because you don't love it. Same with running, same with anything. You know, so many people love to walk. I hate walking. It's just not for me, so I don't do it. I tried to do it the other night. I needed to close one of the rings on my Apple Watch, and I needed to burn like 100 calories. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go down on the treadmill and, you know, put a YouTube video, and I'm just gonna walk. It lasted about 45 seconds. I cranked up the treadmill and I ran in my pajama pants and regular sneakers, not my running sneakers. I only knew I needed to run like a mile or so. Like it was, like, yeah, like I had to burn like 100 calories. So I just needed to run like a mile. So, but my husband came home and he heard the treadmill and he came downstairs and just looked at me, shook his head and walked away. But I tried walking just to do it. And like I said, if I don't like it, I can't do it. I've tried spin, don't like it. I've tried yoga, don't like it. But, you know, I found that I like the HIIT training, the high intensity interval training. I love that. Never would have thought I would have liked that. Didn't even want to try it. Fell in love with it. So don't limit yourself. Try anything. And, you know, it doesn't have to be going to a gym. It can be going out in nature and hiking. Hiking is wonderful. It can be swimming. It can be anything. If you don't succeed, try again. Find something you love because it will definitely stick better. Number 2, the best way to reinforce activity and boost the chance you'll stick with it is finding something you'll enjoy. I kind of rolled number 1 and number 2 into each other. Number 3, if you can't find an activity you enjoy, try making the experience enjoyable. You'll be more likely to do it again. In other words, I don't like walking. We'll use that as an example. But I guarantee you, if I was out walking with one of my girlfriends or walking with my husband or walking with my sister, it would be enjoyable because we'd be doing this and we'd be having a good time. I might not like it, but you know what? It turns out it was not bad and it was enjoyable. So look that way too. Maybe buddy up with someone. So this week's techniques: make being active stick with one of these strategies. I'm going to try to go through these fast because I talked way too long. Be realistic. Most important. Pick an activity that you actually might enjoy and do and stick with. If you hate running, training for a 5K is probably not your thing. Yoga might be. Like I said, just try different things. Try temptation building. I used to do this. I used to do this all the time when I was training, when I first started running and I was doing the C2 5K, the Couch to 5K app. I would have certain shows on the DVR. I would record them on the DVR, and then that was my thing I would do while I was running on the treadmill. I would watch those shows. I was not allowing myself to watch those shows at any other time unless I was on the treadmill running. So that was like, oh, I really want to see that next episode. I'm going to go down and run. So it was a little bit of temptation building for me, and it worked. Number 3, make it doable. Don't go overboard and push yourself so much that you don't want to do the activity again. Don't decide you're going to be a runner and say, okay, that's it. I'm waking up and I'm running 3 miles. You'll hate it. If you've never ran before, you'll hate it. Start with a half a mile. Start with a mile. Start with 10 minutes of walking and 5 minutes of running. Build on things. Don't just, you need to make it doable. Challenge the expected. Want to build a stronger heart but not a fan of running? Don't run. There's other of heart-pumping activities to try. Spin class, swimming, tennis, jumping rope. Just like I said, try other things. Find the fun. Talked about this. If you don't like it, do it with a friend. You might surprise yourself. Number 6, end on a high note. Even if parts of the activity are tough, ending it with something that feels good. Stretching, a cool down, it'll create a lasting positive impression because you'll feel better. I know sometimes my 8-fit workouts, sometimes I breeze right through them and don't break a sweat. Other times, it kicks my booty. But I look forward to that stretch and that cool down because I know how good I'm going to feel once I'm done. Number 7, start a journal. Write yourself a note after you've been active to reinforce how you felt and why you want to do it again. Give future you tips to stay inspired. And number 8, celebrate your progress. Did you make it to yoga twice this week? Track it in your app. Write it down in your journal. Do something. Make yourself feel good about it. Celebrate how well you did. Now for me, I'm a very competitive person. Not competitive with other people. I'm competitive with myself. Like when I run a 5K, I don't care where I come in as long as I do better than I've done before or as long as I do my best. I try to always improve myself. And one of the things I do to challenge myself is I have an Apple Watch, and the activity on the Apple Watch, there's 3 rings. There's a red ring, a blue ring, and a green ring. The green ring is your exercise ring. To close the ring and make it a circle, you have to exercise for 30 minutes. I always make sure I close that. Normally. Sunday is usually my day of rest, which I'm switching to Friday because of fasting. So sometimes it doesn't get closed, and that's okay because your bodies need to rest. The other ring is the blue ring. That's your stand ring. You have to stand and be active 1 time per hour for 12 hours a day. And by being active, I just mean moving around. And then the other ring is the red ring. It's called the move ring. It's calories burned while being active. And you set a goal and you reach that. So my goal is to close all 3 of my rings at least 6 days a week. Do I always hit it? I don't. I always close them 5 days a week. I strive for 6, but sometimes I take 2 days of rest. I listen to my body and decide how it's feeling. So anyway, I have rambled on long enough, and I do appreciate it if you've made it to the end, and I do appreciate you listening to my rambles and my struggles in the beginning. And I am so looking forward to this season of Lent because I know it is going to help me get back where I need to be and get rid of these bite, licks, and taste. And like I said, there is nothing wrong with snacking. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just not doing it correctly. And I need to work on that. Like I said, I portion out those nuts, and for me, nuts are a wonderful snack because of the protein and the fat. I portion them out and I go back. And that's what I have to stop doing. I don't need to go back. I'm satisfied with what I eat, but they just taste so darn good. I need to stop buying the Mesquite Smokehouse almonds. That's what I need to stop doing. And I did. I got rid of the bag. I sent them to work with Doug, which he'll put them in the break room and they'll all eat them, so he won't eat the whole bag. But I don't have a break room because I'm in my house working. Yeah. So I'm definitely going to work on that. I feel good about it. I feel renewed. I feel re-energized, and I know I can do this. I really feel good about it, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I am not going, normally I record my food on Wednesday in a separate video. I am not going to bother recording it today because it is a day of fasting, so there will be no breakfast. There will be no lunch. We will be eating dinner after we get back from church at 6 o'clock. Church is at 6 o'clock. We're not going to have time to eat before we go. So we'll eat after, and it is a meatless day for us. So we will be having a simple dinner of asparagus and egg sandwiches. It is one of our favorite dinners. We even have it when it's not Lent. It's a huge Lenten staple with my family. Always has, always was, always has been. And it's absolutely delicious. You just saute some, and it's funny, as much as I love fresh asparagus, I like canned asparagus in my asparagus and egg sandwiches. I don't know why, because I don't like canned vegetables as a whole, but I like it in these sandwiches. So I just take a little tiny bit of butter, a little bit, like half a teaspoon, melt it in a pan, throw in some asparagus from the can, drained, heat that through, scramble up 2 eggs, throw that on top of the asparagus, make scrambled asparagus and eggs, and then I put them on a Amoroso club roll, and I've got like a 5-point sandwich. The roll's 4 and I count a point for the butter. I have a 5-point sandwich and it is so delicious. And I like to wrap my sandwich in wax paper and let it sit for 5 minutes so it gets like warm and soft, and yeah, not good to be talking about when I'm going to be fasting all day. But so that's the only thing I'm going to be eating today, so I'm not even going to bother recording. So this is all you're getting from me today. But I will be back tomorrow with a full day of eating, and Friday with my menu plan and grocery haul. And then, what's this weekend? Oh, maybe Sunday I'll bring you along. We have, it is the school where my son goes. The high school where my son goes. It's about 20 minutes from our house. It's, you know, like in a little town 3 towns over. He does not go to our district school. He goes to a private Catholic school. And their town is having their St. Patrick's Day parade on Sunday. It is a very Irish town, like very Irish town. They have a huge St. Patrick's Day parade. And Adam and the drama club are marching in the parade. So we will be going to that, and I will take you along, show you them, and show you what's going on, and show you my full day of eating on maybe show you my full day of eating. We'll see. I have 4 collabs this month, and I'm making one of the recipes for the collab that's in the middle of the month on Sunday, and we don't like to show the collab stuff, of course, before the collab comes out, so I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm just rambling because I just like talking to you guys. I feel like I'm sitting in my living room and you guys are all here with me, and I love that feeling. So anyway, let me know in the comments below if you've ever struggled like this and how you... I really feel like I have a handle on it. I really do. But let me know if you have any tips. Like I said, I don't snack between meals during Lent unless it's vegetables and fruit, which is fine because that's normally what I snack on anyway. I'm getting the triggers out of the house, and I think I got this. Definitely think I got this. And, once I get Lent over, I'm hoping these habits that I'm building during this season of sacrifice help me continue on and continue to make the good choices. So, we'll see. I've rambled. Have a fantastic day, and if you celebrate Lent, have a great Lent, and that's about it. I will be back tomorrow to show you my breakfast, my lunch, and my dinner. Have a good one, guys.